Been a minute since we talked about a Glencadam. Maybe about half a minute in YouTube time. But it's time again to speak about Glencadam because I have samples that I need to get through. I actually have another one, which is not going to happen today, but will do in the future. But today, we'll be talking about this little sample that I was graciously gifted. This is the Glencadam White Port 15-year-old. It's a limited edition, one of 3,000 odd bottles, 46% natural colour, non-chill filtered. I want to see what white port does to a whiskey. But first, if you're interested in the world of whiskey and you want to watch, listen, hear more about whiskies, then do subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon as well. With that, hello and welcome to John Drinks, the channel where I, John, have a drink. And today, I'm going to be drinking some of this. This is the Glencadam White Port. I do actually have a little bottle of white port here. I don't know if it's a good white port or not. It came in a pack of 3, so read into that whatever you will. I've never had white port before, so I'm not going to be picking out any white port notes necessarily. I'm not just be like, yeah, it tastes like white port, because I don't know what white port tastes like. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that I'm going into this that blind, but we shall see. So, white port, why do that? Why? So it's a finish, it's not a full maturation. There's a mix of white oak and first fill American oak in this one, if memory serves. Did do a little bit of research on this before hitting record, and then my brain went duh as I started speaking, so I believe that's correct. There'll be details down in the description box for such things. What we're more curious about really is how it interacts with the face, nose, mouth situation. Yeah, let's go with that. Why not? Sure. So I put some in a glass about 15 minutes ago because, you know, that's a good thing to do if you're planning on drinking a liquid in general. So, elephant in the room with this one. Because I've left this as long as I have, there aren't a huge number of these bottles kicking around anymore. I mean, you know, it was a limited run. Whether they'll do a second batch or not, I have no idea. I don't have that kind of intel. I mean, I probably could just ask, to be fair. That probably would have been a good thing to have done. I've really prepared for this, as you can tell. You can still get your hands on it. It's going to set you back about £86–87. It's not the cheapest whiskey on the planet. So I'm sure a few Glencadam fans will be like, oh, what, it's not £13? Bah, no. Those are the noises they make. The Glencadam 10 is a fantastically affordable, parentheses cheap, whiskey that just delivers the goods. It's a fantastic 10-year-old whiskey. It's 46% natural colour, non-chill filtered, all the stuff that the geeks really like. It's also quite approachable and just flavoursome as well. So, you know, it's a box ticker, that one. This one, more of a special occasion, you know? If you've had the 10, you're kind of like, okay, cool, what else does Glencadam do? And they've been expanding their horizons, as have Tom & Tell, actually, both owned by the same parent company. I was lucky enough to go to Tom & Tell fairly recently, and I came away with a goodie. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that goodie or not. I probably am going to, though. Although it might not be its own video, because that's not fair, because I was handed this as a thing of like, hey, you're here, might as well take this with you. You just cannot buy it. It's quite a precious little thing as well. I'm quite excited to be an owner of it, but that will come at a later point. For now, though, a white port Glencadam. What? Oh, it's quite light, lemony, spritzy. Rose water. Little mentholated, not mentholated, little minty, little kind of minty, menthol, lemony, lemon, mint, rose water, the world's weirdest Turkish delight. A little of strawberry jam in there as well, kind of like a sweet strawberry, bright, fruity, sweet, lemon, mint, rose water. I'm just saying the same words over and over again now, aren't I? It's a very fruity nose. It's a summery nose. It smells like summer. I'm doing that thing where I repeat myself again. I'm going to taste it. That's what I'm going to do now. I am going to put this in my mouth and see what happens. Good lord. Wowza. Doubling down on the lemon, strawberry, little rhubarb as well. It's got that kind of slightly bitter edge that rhubarb does if you don't add about 9 tons of sugar to it. I had a rhubarb crumble once where they forgot to put sugar in it. Never again. That was my first rhubarb crumble as well, and I was like, what in God's name is this? Why did you put crumbled up biscuit on a drain? What is happening to me? And then I discovered they completely fucked up, and that's not how you're supposed to present it. I'm watching a documentary about Mary Whitehouse right now, and I very nearly didn't swear. That woman has an influence, even though she's long dead. Thank God, to be honest, because she sounded like a complete fucking lunatic. Oh, there we are, I'm back in the room. Good. More fruity elements, a little bit of white pepper, cherries as well. A little biscuity, that kind of bready, digestive biscuit kind of a note. It is bags of flavour. I don't know why I'm surprised, to be fair. I mean, Glencadams tend to just kind of like be like, hey, you want to taste something? Bam! Ow, that hurts. It's not every day I actually injure myself on one of these. Jesus, wow, I really, that's just how enthusiastic I am for Glencadam. Jesus. I'm going to add some water now. Turns out I can throw a punch. Cool. Am I masked yet? Stick a little bit of that in there. Cool. So, get the fucking lid on the bottle. There we go. I'm not a professional. Interesting. It's like if somebody ever tried to make lemon PVA glue. It's bizarrely gotten more, the nose has gotten more spiritus. That's interesting. Don't get that very often. A little bit of a dry spice, cinnamon, clove. Still a hint of strawberry to it, more kind of like strawberry leathers now. It's not a kink thing, it's, you know, like fruit winders. That's an example of a fruit leather. It's where you, like, take a fruit, puree the fuck out of it, and then dehydrate it, and then you can, like... That's a fruit leather. That's what it's called. It's called fruit leather. It's not... I suppose you could make a fruit gimp mask if you really wanted to. I've never understood that. I mean, each their own. Never got that. It's fine. Yeah, it's just, you know, get on with it. I've got other things to do, you know, like watching the last season of Farscape. That's my sex life. I wish Ben Browder was in my sex life. Ben Browder like 10, 15 years ago, not so much Ben Browder. Although, to be fair, the more I'm nosing as well, there's a little bit of like a honey element coming through to it as well. It's quite sweet, rich. Okay, let's try it with a little bit of water in there. Oh, I'm doubling down on the honey. Yeah, man. The texture of the whiskey is really thick. It's really enveloping, rich, mouth coating, however you want to describe it. It's full-bodied, you might describe it as. Body of Christ. Again, I don't know what White Port does to a whiskey, or indeed just what it tastes like in general. I would imagine it's not a million miles away from like a Fino or Manzanilla, is a guess, but it's quite herbaceous, kind of like if you try making white chocolate with like rosemary and thyme in it. There is a chocolatiers in Edinburgh that does do stuff like that. Turns out bay seasoning and white chocolate, oh, that is good. Like Cajun spices and white chocolate, that it shouldn't work, but oh, if you like making chocolate at home, give it a go. I've not done it myself. I bought a bar. But it's fantastic. I occasionally talk about Mary's Milk Bar in here, and that is because it is a magical place where all your lactose intolerant dreams can come true. And she does also do sorbets, but that's besides the point. We're there for the milk, goddammit. Fruit is sticking around. Predominantly, actually, strawberry and white pepper is what I'm getting out of this one, which is a fantastic combination in and of itself. You know, it's wonderfully spicy, warming, it's got a heat to it, and it's got this lovely, bright fruitiness to it. A little honey. Rhubarb's still kind of sticking around a little bit. There's kind of like that little better edge to it, just kind of give it a bit of interest. Finish is quite short. But the flavour whilst you've got it it's a good one. Is it £87 worth of whiskey? That might be a tricky ask, because there's heavy competition at that price point, let's face it. But I'll tell you what, it is a solidly made whiskey. Bags of flavour, virtually faultless in terms of kind of like an experience from birth to death. It takes water like an absolute champ. Damn it, it's nice, alright? It's just nice. It's one for those who were kind of like a fan of their fruity, bright, slightly more spirit-driven whiskies. If you're a fan of kind of like your sherry overcoats or your kind of like nutty vanilla caramel kind of things, this isn't quite going to hit that. It does still have a honey presence to it, which to be honest is impressive given everything it's given me. But I'll tell you what, if you're a fan of strawberry whiskey, you could do a lot worse. Those are my thoughts on the Glencadam White Port. Comment down below. Have you ever tried White Port? What do you think of Glencadam's range? Is there anything that you're looking forward to or excited for me to try that they have? I know they bring out a new entry level. I think the Andalusia has been around for a while. I think they brought out another entry level. Wow, I should have done my research. Also, I'm pretty sure I spoke about it fairly recently. That's embarrassing. I should probably cut this for dignity. I'm not going to, but I probably should. Anyway, whatever. Let me know about Glencadam and other such things down below. Thumb this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I need attention. And do join me next time, where I'll be drinking something else.